Okay, I want to talk about how to start trading with $0. It is possible, and I'm going to tell you the steps to do so here. Number one, okay. Number one, YouTube University. You're already here if you're watching this video. YouTube University is where you're going to start, and you know where exactly you're going to start? The ICT 2022 mentorship. You're going to watch this all the way through unless ICT does not make sense to you, and then you're going to go and first you're going to start with some price action videos. Trading course. Let's see if I can find the one I watched that really helped me. It was none of these. It was this one guy. It was like an hour and a half long video. I'm trying to see if it shows ones I've watched before. It's not. But AM Trades is a good one to watch. And CJ Reform Trades is a good one to watch. Or go to, his name used to be Prosperity Academy, but I think he just goes by his name now. Yeah, Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly is great with price action and just basic SMC if you don't like ICT, but you like basic SMC and how that market moves. Price action videos, if you're a super beginner, you're going to go to Candlestick Basics. So you can know like how to read a candlestick. This is the first one, basics right here. How to read a candlestick by Weez Trade. Great, so you know like the body, the open, the close, because when you're looking at a chart, like what's happening versus once you know like body, wick, etc., you know, like you see that right there, how it's showing you now. The highest is the opening of the wick, the bottom wick is the lowest it's been. Body is the open and the close, and the meat and potatoes of the wick. You'll watch that first. Now, and then there's other strategies you would watch, but ICT is what made me profitable the fastest. It might not work for you. I think the next best strategy is probably supply and demand. There's a bunch of supply and demand videos on there. I think a lot of people trade supply and demand. There's a lot of break and retest people out there. And then once you stick with ICT and you just need someone to help you like practice or like certain things with ICT you don't understand, then you go to T-Trades. You can just search like displacement. You can search, internal range, external range liquidity. Like here, you can search order blocks. You can search just specific terms for ICT that you need to learn, inversion for value gaps. Like, see how I've watched a little bit of these as I've, kill zone, which is a good kill zone indicator. You learn all of this first. Your journey doesn't start until you find a strategy that clicks for you. And then once you find a strategy that clicks for you, you come on the chart and you sit and you watch in real time. And then you just mark up, like, say you were going to take this trade and you're like, I see a setup that I like. You put your tool, you put your stop loss, and you let it play out. And you see like, hey, that trade I lost or this trade I won. And you look for a month and see like, and you journal like, this is what I saw. And you mark it out, but you don't take a trade. You don't take a trade. Now, after that, number 2, like I said, watch the charts for a month. After you have your strategy, like I just said, you're gonna watch. Number 3, I always suggest getting on the charts first. I think start with a $100 account. We're doing it with $0. With $0, you're gonna paper trade, and then you're gonna actually take trades. Okay, you're gonna come to TradingView. I'm already in mine with paper trading because I'm paper trading this week. But you will come in and you can you'll go down here where it says get a broker, and then you'll log in. And you'll see paper trading is the first one. It'll just log you in. Or if you have a broker that you can paper trade with, which a lot of them let you do, you can sign in there. Ninja Trader has their own broker. Any options trader has their own paper trading. Like, you don't have to, but on TradingView you can. And then you can set your trades in TradingView, just like this. So you're practicing your trading without without even spending any money, and you're actively trading and you're doing it. I always suggest start with like 10 to 50 to $100 on options and get used to making and losing money first, because then some people don't take paper trading seriously when they don't lose money first. Like they'll just be like, oh, I made 10K, like, because they always start you off this fat like 100K account, which is not even what you would start with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you want to, I personally would say start with your own money and then come into here. But again, we're doing with $0. And you can paper trade. And then like now I take paper trading so seriously because I've been trading for like, 8 months. And then fourth, backtest. When I was told in 2020 about backtesting, it was very much just like, oh, I see my setup here. Go back a few days. Oh, I see my setup here. Oh, go back another day. How often does my setup work? Not that day, but this day I see it here. That's what I was told, and that's why I was very anti-backtesting for a while, if y'all follow my content for a little bit. But I discovered FX Replay, which I backtest live every night, and I trade live now every morning. And this, you can like play stuff out, and you guess where it's going. Like you chart how you would normally, and then you see it will play in real time, and you can go back to any time. Another thing about going back on replay on TradingView, like if you go back like more than a year, the candles aren't even full. They're like blank. It's not registering. Versus you can go back 20 years on this, and the candles will be full like you're trading in real time. And you come, and then you can go to like the next back testing session, and then you can just trade how you trade. You mark up your liquidity. You can't, a lot of the new ICT indicators are not on here though, so you're gonna have to like draw your own fair value gaps and draw your own. They do have a sessions indicator that I was using, and then I just made it to the ICT kill zones, which helped. And then you play your trade out, and if you get in reversals off of liquidity sweeps or whatever, and you can practice and you can guess, and you actually can set orders if you want. Like you can actually place an order, and it will show you how much money you'll make. I personally don't do that because I like to see where I went wrong and like stop it in the middle or close out. Versus like if you place an order, it only closes if it hits your TP or hits your take profit, which I don't like about this app. But see, oh, we lost this trade, and then you're like, why did I lose this trade? And then you'll learn, and you can do this for hours. Like you treat it like a game, and it's so much better. I just became unprofitable, and I would have been profitable. I would have stayed profitable if I back tested in markets where I wasn't favorable, or in having my emotions when my emotions got bad. If I just traded back tested like this, I would have been better. But it's okay. I'm still under a year, and we're back testing every night. And I'm getting so much better, and all the things. So this is how you would trade for free. If you want to learn how to trade for free, you start on YouTube. You don't just start trading. Now, if you want to, yes, you can just come here, put paper trade account, make an account with TradingView, and just start buying and selling for no reason. But find a strategy first. Find a strategy and then perfect it. Come and watch the charts for a month and see how often your strategy works in a certain session. And that's it. You're just like, oh, this is how I trade. If it's a trend line, if it's a supply and resistance, if it's a support and resistance, supply and demand, whatever you trade, just come watch it for a month and see, what time frames it happens in. And most importantly, number 5, only trade one or two things. So I only trade the NASDAQ. I watch ES because of SMT, so I do watch, the ES and the NASDAQ, but my trading got so much better once I only watched one thing. When I first started trading, I was watching Microsoft, NVIDIA, like, the top 8 with options, because back then people told you to, and then I would chart them all perfectly, but be looking at one, and then one day this one would move, and I mean, options traders still do that. All my friends who trade options, they still, like, one day will trade Microsoft, one day will trade NASDAQ, but I see a lot of people who do just trade SPY, SPX, or QQQ, which is indices, because they're the easiest to trade. I know AA Bands FX is talk shit. Like, if you trade indices, you're not a real trader. You're not a good trader. Why? Like, yeah, they're easy to trade, so we all should be trading them. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, this is how you trade as a beginner. You can start and you can learn. And you can do this for 8 months, 6 months, to a year, 2 years, 3 years. You can either just do it just this way without spending any money. And that's why I don't understand how traders lose a lot of money. Like, obviously you'll lose some. I think I've lost maybe like $2 to $3 grand off just like monthly fees and prop firms and things like that, and then a little bit on my own account. But I was losing way more money drop shipping or business in the same 8 months. Like, losing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K trading you don't need to do that. You do not need to do that. And even now, I'm going back to paper trading for a little bit, and then I'll come back. And then if I blow my account, my 2K account that I had, I'm just going to stick to prop firms and paper trading until I get a payout. And then I'll go back. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can do things safely, and you're practicing this whole time. You don't just like stop trading because you lost money. You can paper trade. You can trade fundeds, which is like it's like a good medium between the two. Like, it's technically paper trading, and if they're not scamming, you get a payout at the end. So you treat it real, but also like it's not like you're losing your own money. Even though futures prop firms, they do charge you monthly, which I don't like. They do, but $50 a month is still better than $50 a day or $50 of your own money. You see what I'm saying? So I have the 50K account, so it's $50 a month. I started with the 150, and I was close, and I kept not doing it. And so I was like, the 50Ks are easiest. You only need to make 3, and you can lose up to 2. So it's like a 1.5 you have to make versus like you can only lose if you lose half of what you need to make on the other ones. The risk reward is better on the 50K. So I started doing that, and I'll stack those. And it's cheaper a month. So like obviously 150, if you don't pass in like 6 months, it's like an extra bill. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just trade. And also TopSec does have a simulator trading that you can do on your own as well if you want to practice like with them and see it on your chart. But yeah, this is how you trade for free, and you start trading for free. And I don't know if that's what people want to hear, or they're excited that you can do that, or you feel like you're going to come in and just make money, but you can practice and you can flip small accounts once you know what you're doing. Learning the skill is the hard part. Once you learn it, you're printing money. And I think people get obsessed with the printing money in the beginning because like I used to be that way, but now I'm like, I know once I get this, because that's when you see people say, oh, I took $100 to 10K in a month. You're not going to be able to do that. They learned the skill to do that. If you don't have the skill, you can't do that. You got to trade safely. You got to use 1%. You got to only risk 1% per trade, and that's okay. And then once you get good and you know your strategy is 90, 80%, then yes, and you're trading it. Because my strategy, I have a video on that, is 90%, but I personally, as a beginner, I get emotional, I trade shitty, I do my stop loss too tight, I get in late, like I just do things on my own as a beginner trader. And that's why I trade live, to show like if you guys execute better than me, you can make money. And people do make money on my lives even when I don't, and then there's days we both make money. You see what I'm saying? So that is what I'm working on, and that's part of being a beginner, and I'm transparent with y'all. But yes, this is how you would trade for free. And I hope you guys, if you really want to trade, you take it seriously and you do it. Please join us. We'll be the next gurus in 2 to 3 to 5 years, teaching everyone how to trade and learn. And I definitely think it doesn't even take 2 to 5 years anymore. You can do this in 6 to 18 months for sure. If you do all this diligently, consistently, you can learn in 6 to 18 months, especially with only learning one thing instead of watching a bunch of charts. I think that's why it took people so long. So good luck. We got this. Join my lives every night on TikTok and YouTube, and we're backtesting. I'm backtesting the rest of the year, so let's go.